I want to take some time to talk to you just briefly about seed collections. So seed collections come in a lot of different forms. Some people use jars, a lot of people use envelopes. I personally keep my home stash in this really lovely tin. And then there's really no organization in here. Whenever I'm looking for seeds, I kind of just go through and I play with all of them and I take a look at them and I just see, oh, is it the right season for this? Oh, maybe not. Okay, and then I figure out what I want to plant where and I move forward from there. Your average seed lasts for about 2 years, but that's not a hard and fast rule. Some of these my mom saved for me in pill bottles and then sent out. I've got peach pits in here and beans and flowers and all kinds of really fun treasure in this particular seed collection. My work seed collection, I organize a little bit differently. So at the Luther Burbank Home and Gardens, I organize my seed collection based on month, and everything stays in these big Ziploc bags so that I know when it's time to propagate particular things. So for example, I have a late September bag right here, and in my late September bag I've got a lot of like mustards and kales, things that I'll want to grow through the winter. Late August I have things that require a little bit warmer germination temperature, but that I can also get to grow through the winter. And then I have like late March. Early April is a pretty big month. That's when we're starting to do all of our sunflowers and squash. Let's see, this one is early March. So early March is when I start doing a lot of my pepper, or a lot of my tomatoes. Late February is usually for herbs, peppers, marigolds, zinnias, stuff like that. Early February is going to be for more peppers, the peppers that take a lot longer to germinate. And then January is usually the month that I start sowing things that are going to be perennial seeds that take a really long time to get started and grow. Let's just go ahead and we'll pull a couple of random seed packets here, and we'll take a look at the kinds of growing information that come on those seed packets. I'm going to try to pick a couple of different companies here so that we can really get a good example of diversity. So here's something from Baker Creek, something from Botanical Interests. Renee's Garden is another one that I've got in here. I collect seeds from all over the place. So this is a Lake Valley Seed Company. All right, and we're going to look at some of the things that these have in common and then some of the things that they do differently. So first you'll look on the front of the seed packet, and most of these will come with a pretty picture that's going to give you an indication of what it's going to look like when it's mature. That's not necessarily going to be the case for every seed company, and it's not required that they put pictures of their product on the front of their packet, but it does help sell their packet. Then you're going to see where there's a name on it. So here, you'll typically see the company that it's associated with. So this is Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, this is Lake Valley Seed, Botanical Interests, and Renee's Garden. And that can be pretty much anywhere, but usually they will include that logo on the front of their seed packet. Next you'll see the name of the plant. So this is kohlrabi, is the broad name of the plant, and then the specific cultivar is early purple Vienna. Okay. This one is squash, and it's a dark green zucchini. This one is called shizo or perillo. Red akashizo is another name for it. And then this particular company also includes the genus and species on the plant. That's not something that's always required. As long as you have the cultivar of the plant, you don't always need to have the genus and species. But this one is Perilla frutescens, and then the cultivar is called Crispa. And then this one is a baby butternut squash that's called honey nut. Sometimes they'll include a little description down on the bottom. This one says it's a space-saving climbing mini butternut that offers convenience and delicious sweet flavor. So that sounds good. Now let's take a look at the back sides of these seed packets. On all of these, they have to have a lot category number on here. So this one, well, this one says this is the lot. This is, well, it tells you the lot here. here's the lot that comes from here, and this one does not have a lot number, but then a lot of them will tell you how long the seed is good for, or when the seed was packed, so that you can kind of track from there. This says sell by 12 of 2014. So this seed is like 6 years old. You'll probably end up with some lower germination percentages with your older seeds, but if it's a fairly large seed and it's been preserved in semi-stable conditions like cooler temperatures and very dry, the seed can stay good for a lot longer. This particular one says that it was packed for 2011 and you're supposed to sell it by December of 2011. This one says that it was packed for 2018 and to sell it by 2018. So they're trying to get you to purchase the seeds within the same year. Sometimes they'll offer them at a discount price or give them out for free if it's not for the same year. Good. Most of the other information isn't necessarily required, but they do kind of put it on as a standard. So they'll tell you the seed depth, plant space, row space, how long it takes to sprout, and then how long it takes to mature, and the approximate number of seeds per packet. Sometimes that's listed by a total number, sometimes it's listed by weight. Here this says the kohlrabi sprouts in 6 to 9 days. The ideal temperature, which the other one didn't tell me, is 45 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's a range. It tells you the depth, how far to plant them. It says that it's frost hardy in this case, and this one says that it needs a minimum of 6 to 12 hours of full sun to be able to get a good plant. Here we've got 5 to 15 days emergence. Plant seed depth is 1/4 inch or press lightly onto the surface. Seed spacing 2 inches, row spacing 12 to 18 inches, and then thin when they're a certain distance apart. So you can see that the kind of information about growing is pretty variable per company. This one says that you should plant it April to June. It likes full sun. The planting depth is 1 inch deep. It likes rows 2 feet and hills 6 inches, 7 to 10 days on germination, and 110 days to harvest. The harvest date can be kind of important in case you have a short growing season or a long growing season. You'll know what to expect when you can bring your plants to market. This one has a nice little flap that has some other growing notes and some harvest uses, and then they also include the address and website for the particular company. So there you go. This is a just brief introduction to seed packets and seed collections in general. I usually keep things for about 5 to 10 years, and I just keep trying to sow them. If it's older than 10 years in my seed collection, a lot of times I just put it together in a blend and kind of sprinkle it out to the wild and just figure if it survives, it survives, and if it doesn't, maybe it was good bird food.